Aging isn't a cliff, it's a pattern, and patterns can be changed. Full stop. If your shoulders just dropped because something in your gut said, finally, thank God, listen to that. Because the thing you're scared of is not wrinkles. It's not gray hair. It's losing independence. It's the silent horror of needing help to get off the toilet, needing a hand to pull you into the car, looking at the stairs like they're Everest, sitting on the floor with your grandkid and then realizing you don't know how to get up without furniture or a groan and a prayer. That fear, that's the right one. And it is fixable. Here's what I already know about you. You want the facts. You want the science. You want results. You're busy. You've been working hard. And this creeping stiffness, this zip of pain in your knee when you turn, the way you're bracing your hand on the counter to put on a sock, it feels sudden. You're thinking, when did this happen to me? I'm going to tell you when. Not at 80, not at 70. It starts in your 30s and 40s quietly, predictably, while life is loud. You sit more. You hustle. You work out when you can, and the workouts get sweatier, but your movement gets narrower. The pattern sets in. Then one day, something sudden happens, and your mouth is on the floor. But it wasn't sudden. It was a pattern, and no one ever taught you how to interrupt it. Let's name the villain so we can beat it. The cultural lie that stiffness and pain are normal, that this is just aging, that if you aren't dripping sweat or chasing a personal record, it doesn't count. That is bro science garbage. We've been gaslit to think function is optional and intensity is everything. Are you kidding me? Sweating through a boot camp while your joints lose control is like redlining a car with no brakes. Impressive. Until you try to stop. So here's the truth translated, plain and simple. Mobility loss is not about flexibility. It's not about touching your toes in a yoga selfie. It's about strength and control through the ranges of motion that real life demands every single day. And the body loves patterns. It learns what you repeat, which is the best news of your life, because a simple daily pattern can save you. I'm going to give you a protocol that takes minutes, not hours. A repeatable script you can do in your living room, hotel room, or beside your bed that protects your joints, your balance, your ability to get off the floor without help. We call it FACE. It's sticky. It's simple. It's your independence insurance. And before we're done, you'll know exactly how to do it. This is urgent, yes, but not doom. This is the most empowering switch you'll flip this year. Your independence is not a cliff you tumble off. It's a pattern you choose starting today. Let's freaking go. Doctor, where the hell have you been? I mean it. Because I talk to orthopedic surgeons, board certified, fellowship trained, thousands of knees and hips and shoulders, trauma call at 2 a.m., clinic at 8, research on Fridays. They don't guess. They open you up. They look under the hood. They see with their own eyes what decades of movement or non-movement do to a body. X-rays, MRIs, scopes, and then the scalpel. No filters, no spin. And do you know what they tell me? The sudden disaster almost never starts that day. The big injury is the last chapter of a boring, predictable book that could have been rewritten years earlier. Here's the storyline they see on repeat. You're active-ish in your 20s and 30s. You play some tennis. You run a little. You lift when you can. Life gets busy. You sit more. Your workouts get narrower. Same class, same moves, same angles. Your ankles stiffen a hair. Your hips stop rotating because your chair is your new sport. Your balance drops a notch, but you call it I'm just tired. Then you tweak your knee getting out of the car or miss a curb because your foot didn't clear like it used to. You rest. It feels better, kind of. You move even less because you don't want to aggravate it. Months go by, the pattern tightens. Then wham, you fall, you tear something, and you're in the surgeon's office saying, this came out of nowhere. And the surgeon, who has seen 10,000 of these, looks at the images and then at how you stand when you think no one is watching. Translation of what degeneration actually means in normal person speak, you've lost options. The joint doesn't have as many paths it can move through. The tissues that should be strong in those positions got weaker. The control system, your brain to muscle connection, got fuzzy because you haven't asked it to do the hard but necessary stuff. So the load gets shoved into the same tiny corner of the joint again and again. Cartilage thins there. Tendons get cranky there. Your body does what it always does under repeated stress in one direction. It adapts, but in the wrong way. And when a surprise demand shows up, slippery step, quick twist, catching a falling grocery bag, you don't have options. You have a snap. So you're telling me the sudden decline is actually me ignoring signals for 10 years? My mouth is on the floor because that little knee zip, that low back whisper after a long drive, the ankle that stopped rolling side to side, those were not random. Those were notifications from your future saying, hey, we're losing range and strength here. Pay attention. Orthopedics teaches one brutal truth. The big, scary injuries are often the final chapter of a long, preventable mobility decline, which means there is a better question than how do I fix this after surgery? The real question, the one that changes your life is, what simple daily mobility work keeps my options open so the sudden never arrives? That's where we're going. Because if the pattern is predictable, the interruption can be 2 minutes a day, ground up, joint by joint. You'll see it, you'll feel it, and it will protect everything you care about. Your balance, your strength, your independence. Let's freaking go. All right, friend, it's mirror time. 2 minutes. No equipment, no ego. This is not a moral grade. This is data. You are not lazy. You are undertrained in a specific system, and that is fixable. Stand near a counter or a wall, clear a little space, and skip anything that gives you sharp pain. We're doing the tests that actually predict your independence more than your weight or your treadmill pace. Are you ready? Let's freaking go. First, single leg balance. Lightly hover your fingers over the counter, pick one foot up an inch, and breathe. Can you own 10 seconds without grabbing? Switch sides. Notice the wobble, the toe clawing, the panic breath. That's your nervous system telling you the foot, ankle, hip team is off their group chat. Translation to real life. Stepping off a curb, pivoting in the kitchen, catching yourself on ice. That is all single leg control. If this felt sketchy, good news. That's trainable. It's not you being clumsy. It's a signal to wake up the stabilizers. Second, chair stands. Sit on a firm chair. Scoot to the edge. Cross your arms over your chest or lightly touch the chair for balance and stand up, then sit back down. Try 5 reps without using your hands. If you needed your hands, awesome. You just found the truth about your quads and hips. Real life translation. Toilets, low couches, cars. If that move is iffy now, after a sprained ankle or a week with the flu, that's when people start avoiding outings because the seating is low. Not on our watch. Third, the comfortable squat to chair depth. Stand in front of the chair, feet about hip width. Can you lower until your butt taps the seat and come back up, heels planted, chest not collapsing? If you only make it halfway before you tip or your knees yell, note the depth where you still feel in control. This is not about a bootygram angle. This is pick up a laundry basket, buckle a car seat, tie your shoe without your back screaming. Depth plus control is the goal, not just dropping down and praying. Fourth, the floor transfer. Have that counter or sturdy chair handy. Can you get down to the floor, then back up, using as little hand support as you safely can? Count how many points you used. 1 hand, 2, a knee. If you can't do it today, 0 shame. That's your training target. Real life translation, falls, playtime, on the rug, reaching, under the bed. The ability to return to standing is the definition of independence. Take a breath. That was your snapshot. No judgment, just reality. We can change. Put the notes in your phone. Balance seconds each side. Chair stands without hands. Squat depth. Floor transfer assists. Because here's the thesis of your new life. If you can measure it in 2 minutes, you can change it in 10. This is why we built Face. F is going to wake up your feet and ankles so that balance test flips from panic to proud. A will switch your hips back on so chair stands get easy and your knees stop paying the rent. C locks in the core control that makes floor transfer safe even when you're tired. E opens your upper back and shoulders so you stand tall and breathe like a boss. Fast forward 10 years. If these basics are hard now, what happens after a sprained ankle, a bad cold, a season of stress and sitting? That's the invisible deadline nobody told you about. But you just beat the clock by looking in the mirror. And no, we are not going to stretch and hope. Mobility is strength plus control through range. And in a minute, I'm going to show you exactly how to build it 10 minutes a day so you never have to fear the couch, the curb, or the floor again. Let's freaking go. Let me say the quiet part out loud. Stretching isn't saving you. I know you feel tight. You drop into a hamstring stretch. You get that delicious pull. You stand up and go, better. And an hour later, the tight is back. You think I need to stretch more. No, you need to teach your body to feel safe there because mobility isn't how far you can yank something. Mobility is how well you can control your joints through the ranges that real life demands, getting off the floor, reaching the top shelf, stepping sideways to catch yourself when the dog bolts. Here's the science in normal person speak. Your nervous system is your body's bouncer. Its job is to keep you safe. When you push into a range where you don't have strength and control, the bouncer goes, nope, we're not ready for that, and throws on the parking brake, muscle tone, stiffness, that locked feeling. So you stretch, which temporarily lowers the guard. Things feel looser. But if you don't add strength and control while you're there, the bouncer slaps the brake back on as soon as you walk away. That is why your relief is a rental. You don't own it yet. So let me make sure I'm tracking my body is like, I don't have strength there, so I'm locking it down. Exactly. Your brain doesn't trust the end of the range because you've never paid the rent with strength in that position. This is not you being broken. This is your body being smart. Stiffness is often a strategy. It's your system saying, until you show me you can own this, I'm limiting your options. And options are everything. Let's talk about joint options. Think of each joint like an intersection with multiple streets you can turn down. When you have options, ankles that bend and roll, hips that rotate, a spine that can resist motion and then allow it when needed, load gets shared, movement feels smooth, and your balance is ready to course correct. When options shrink, you keep driving down the same worn out lane. That's when wear and tear piles up in one corner of the knee, the low back takes over for sleepy hips, and a tiny surprise wet leaves. An uneven curb becomes a fall because you couldn't pivot and catch yourself. Mobility is strength plus control through range, period. You build it by going into the positions you need for life and doing small, precise work there, holds, slow lowers, light resistance, so your nervous system upgrades its trust. That's tissue capacity, the ability of muscles, tendons, and fascia to tolerate load in those positions without panicking. And when you stack that with balance practice, your bouncer starts waving you through instead of shutting you down. This is why we are about to stop stretching and hoping and start training options. We're going to hit joints, balance, and tissue capacity in a simple daily sequence that teaches your body, we live here now. Feet and ankles first so the ground feels safe. Hips next so the knees and back stop taking the heat. Core so the whole system has a rock solid center. Under fatigue. Upper back and shoulders so you can reach, breathe, and stand tall. Minutes a day. Repeatable. Own the range, and the range will stick. That's face, and it's coming up. Let's freaking go. Here it is. The script you can run anywhere, every day, no motivation required. Face, say it as you lace your shoes. Whisper it when you wake up. Write it on a sticky note on your bathroom mirror. Face stands for foot, ankle, active hips, core, spine, control, expansion through your shoulders, and thoracic spine. It's not cute branding. It's a map. And when life gets chaotic, and what saves you is not willpower. It's a script you trust. You press play on face and you move on with your day, stronger than you were 10 minutes ago. Why an acronym? Because in the middle of real life kids yelling, work pings, dinner burning, you do not need another decision. You need a recipe. FACE is your recipe. The minimum effective dose is 8 to 12 minutes. That's it. I love the minimum. Doable is repeatable, and repeatable is what changes you. 10 minutes a day is a better anti-aging plan than one heroic workout you skip for the next 3 weeks because it was too much. So let's stop pretending more chaos equals more results. Face every day is your low drama win. Now, the order is not random. Start at the ground for a reason. Your feet and ankles are your first conversation with gravity. If they don't move and grip and roll, your knees get bullied and your balance checks out. So F wakes up the sensors, builds strength at your end ranges, and tells your brain the ground is safe again. Then A, active hips, because sitting has turned your hips off. Hips that rotate and extend take pressure off your knees and your lower back. When hips lead, everything else follows. C is core spine control, not six-pack photos. I'm talking about the anti-fall, anti-flail system that keeps your ribs stacked over your pelvis when life yanks on you. Under fatigue, under stress, this is your seatbelt. Finally, E expansion, your shoulders and thoracic spine. Free the upper back, open your ribs, and suddenly you can reach the top shelf, breathe deeper, and stand like you mean it instead of collapsing into your neck. You run face, and here's what happens. Quickly, your workouts get safer because your joints have options and your core can say no when it should. Your posture improves because your spine is stacked and your chest isn't caved in. Pain, it often quiets down because load is shared like it's supposed to be instead of jammed into the same angry corner of a joint. Balance returns because your feet and ankles stop guessing and start doing. Translation to real life, you turn without that knee zip, you get out of the car without bracing, you catch your heel on a curb, and your body self-corrects instead of panicking. No equipment, no ego, no bro science circus. A precise, repeatable flow that protects your independence. 8 to 12 minutes, ground up, joint by joint. Face is your daily non-negotiable. And the best part? The more chaotic your life is, the more powerful this becomes. Because consistency under chaos is where confidence lives. We are about to break down each letter so you know exactly what to do. But right now, commit face every day. This is how you stay young where it counts, and how you move, how you stand, how you live. Let's freaking go. We start at the ground because the ground is the truth. F is feet, the forgotten joint that quietly wrecks knees, hips, and your balance when it goes offline. Your feet and ankles are how your brain talks to gravity. They're packed with sensors. If they're stiff, if they're cushioned to the point of numb, everything above compensates. The knee gets bullied into twisting it was never designed to do. The hip shuts down rotation. Your back takes over. And now you're wondering why stairs feel sketchy and hiking lights up your shins. Here's my confession. I have just so screwed this up. My shoes have been doing the work my feet are supposed to do. Cushioned, supportive, helpful, and my mouth is on the floor because helpful turned into helpless. Let's wake them up. No equipment, no ego. 2 to 4 minutes, then move on with your day, feeling like the floor is your friend again. Start seated. Barefoot if you can, toe lifts, plant your heel, lift just your big toes while the little ones stay down, then switch little toes up, big toes down. 10 slow reps each way. You're not yanking. You're sending a clear signal. Hey, brain, these switches still work. Then toe spreads. Think make my foot wider. Don't curl. Splay. Hold for 3 seconds. Relax. Repeat for 10 breaths. If nothing moves yet, that's fine. This is a wake-up call, not a talent show. Stand up with light support from a counter. Calf raises with a slow lower. Up on 2 feet for 1 count. Pause. Then lower for a deliberate 3 to 5. 8 to 12 reps. This is the magic. The slow lowering teaches your Achilles and calf to absorb load like a shock absorber instead of slamming your knees. Want a bonus? Do a set with straight knees, then a set with soft, bent knees to hit the deeper muscle that controls you on stairs. Now ankle rocks against a wall. Face the wall, 1 foot forward, heel down. Slide your toes 2 to 4 inches from the wall. Gently drive your knee toward the wall without your heel popping up. Tap, back off. 8 slow taps each side. If your heel lifts, scoop back a 1/2 inch and own the range you have. Translation to life. This is descending stairs in the dark without pitching forward. This is walking downhill without your knees screaming. This is 2 a.m. to pee on a slick floor and not doing the cartoon splits. Finish with short foot, stand tall, tripod your foot, big toe base, little toe base, heel, without curling your toes. Shorten your foot by drawing the ball of your big toe toward your heel. You'll feel your arch quietly rise. Hold 5 to 10 seconds, breathe, relax, 5 holds per side. That's your anti-wobble system. Progression is simple. Start seated if you need it, then standing with 2 hands on the counter, then 1 finger, then no hands. Then do short foot on 1 leg for 10 seconds while you slowly turn your head left and right. That's a real life balance challenge because life moves your eyes and head when the dog yanks or a kid calls your name. This is not fitness fluff. This is fall prevention. It's grocery store spill survival. It's hiking on routes and not rolling an ankle. It's airport sprints without a calf cramp. It's getting up at night, turning on a dime, and trusting your feet to grip instead of guess. Strong, mobile feet and ankles are your first line of defense against falls and knee, hip pain. Do F daily and watch the wobble settle, the stairs calm down, and your whole system breathe easier. The ground is safe again. Let's freaking go. Now that the ground is awake, we go straight to A, active hips, the decade stealer. Because sitting didn't just make you tight, it literally turned your hips off. Hours in a chair teach your body that hip flexion, knees in front, pelvis tucked is home base. You lose hip extension, getting the leg behind you when you walk and your glutes clock out. Who subs in? Your lower back. It arches to fake hip extension. Your hamstrings grip to help. Your knees start torquing to cover for rotation you don't have. And then you call it tightness. You're not tight. You're underpowered in the positions you never train. Exactly. Let's fix it with a daily sequence that lights your hips up through range and hands your back and knees a paid vacation. First up, half kneeling hip flexor opener with glute squeeze. 1 knee down, the other foot in front like a lunge. Toes of the back foot tucked. Stack ribs over pelvis. Now, tuck your tail slightly, zip your zipper to your belly button, and squeeze the backside glute like you mean it. That's the key. Keep the squeeze, gently shift your whole body a couple of inches forward without dumping into your low back. Reach the arm on the kneeling side up, breathe for 5 slow breaths, keep that glute on, switch sides. Translation to life. This is walking with a long stride without pinching your back. This is standing from a chair without your spine doing the heavy lift. Next, 90 over 90 switches, supported. Sit on the floor with both knees bent at 90 degrees, 1 shin in front of you, 1 to the side. Prop your hands behind you or on yoga blocks, 0 ego. Drop both knees to one side, then the other slowly, like windshield wipers. Pause each side to hinge your chest over the front shin while you gently press the back hip bone toward the floor. 6 to 10 slow switches. This restores the rotation your hips need so your knees don't twist to make up for it. Unsexy? Maybe. Life-changing on stairs and curbs? Yes. Glute bridges. Lie on your back, feet planted hip width, heels heavy like you're trying to drag the mat toward you. Exhale to stack your ribs, slight posterior tilt, then drive through your heels and squeeze both glutes to lift. Hold at the top for 1 breath, lower for a slow 3. 8 to 12 reps. Feel this high in your butt, not in your hamstrings. If your hamstrings dominate, walk your feet an inch farther out and focus on the squeeze before you lift. Progression. At the top, small alternating marches without your pelvis wobbling, or full single leg bridges for 6 to 8 each side. This is how you teach your hips to extend so your back can stop faking it. Finish with lateral strength. You need side-to-side power to stop knee collapse. Option 1, lateral steps. Slight athletic hinge, knees soft, toes straight, step sideways, 10 to 15 steps each way. Keep your hips level and your feet quiet. No bands, still works. Option 2, standing hip abduction hold. Stand tall on your left foot with your short foot active. Slide your right foot out to the side with a light toe touch. Square your hips and feel that outer left hip fire. Hold 10 to 20 seconds, 3 holds per side. This turns on your glute med, the don't wobble on stairs muscle. So let me make sure I'm tracking your pain. Low backache after walks, that was your back doing your glutes job. Knees cranky on stairs, that was your hips skipping rotation and side control. Hamstrings always tight, they were overworking because your glutes were underworking. When your hips wake up and get strong through range, your back and knees stop paying the price, period. Mini challenge. Tomorrow morning, while your coffee brews, drop into that half-kneeling opener and do 10 glute squeezes per side with 5 calm breaths. That's your anchor. Stack 90 over 90s in the evening or bridges before bed. Tiny, daily, repeatable. You will feel the stairs steady, the stride lengthen, and the hamstring drama chill. Your hips lead, everything else follows. Let's freaking go. C is the seatbelt. This is not about chiseling a six-pack for Instagram. Your core is the control system that keeps your spine steady while your arms and legs do life. Anti-fall, anti-back pain, pro-confidence. When the center holds, the edges can move fast and safe. When the center leaks, everything scrambles, your back arches to help, your neck tenses, your hips and knees start freelancing. And then you call it, I tweaked something grabbing the groceries. No, you lost control under load. So it's not crunches, it's my ability to brace and breathe while moving. Exactly. If you can keep your ribs stacked over your pelvis, breathe low and wide around your waist, and move your limbs without your spine wobbling, you own your day. That's carrying 2 grocery bags and unlocking the door without your back barking. That's lifting your kid into the car seat at a weird angle and not paying for it later. That's shoveling, raking, hoisting a suitcase to the overhead bin on the 3rd flight of the day when you're tired and irritated and doing it like a boss. Here's your daily C menu. No equipment, no ego. 2 to 4 minutes and done. Start with dead bug heel taps. Lie on your back, knees over hips, shins parallel to the floor. Exhale to gently knit your ribs down and feel your low back kiss the mat. Inhale wide into the sides of your ribs without popping your back off. Now, 1, heel taps the floor, slow, bring it back up, switch sides. 8 slow taps total. The rule, if your back peels up or your ribs flare, shorten the tap. Own the range you have. Train the range you want. Roll to the side plank from knees. Elbow under shoulder, knees stacked, feet behind you, top hand on your rib cage to Q stack. Exhale, lift hips, create a straight line from crown to knees. Hold for 3 calm breaths, long exhales, quiet inhales, then down. 2 holds each side. Feel the side wall of your body light up. That's your anti-tip system. When the dog yanks the leash, quadruped for bird dog holds. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, press the floor away like you're rounding a tiny bit between the shoulder blades, ribs stacked, gaze down. Slide your right leg back and your left hand forward like you're reaching from crown to heel. Don't let your low back sag or your hips twist. 5-second hold, breathe, switch. 5 each side. Imagine a glass of water on your low back that cannot spill. Stability first, range later. Finish with a controlled hinge. Option 1, dowel or broomstick along your spine, touching the back of your head, mid-back, and tailbone. Soften knees, push your hips back to bow, keep all 3 points connected, then stand tall by driving the floor away, 8 slow reps. Option 2, face away from a wall, 6 inches out. Reach your butt back to lightly tap the wall without your knees shooting forward. This teaches your body to load hips while your spine stays quiet, aka pick up the laundry basket without a surprise back bend. Why this works? Bracing with breath tells your nervous system we are safe in this position under load. Your stress response dials down, your muscles coordinate instead of clenching, and your balance sharpens because the middle is steady. Fast forward to your next chaotic moment. Late, arms full, hallway obstacle course. You exhale, your ribs stack, your spine holds, your limbs move. No flail, no flare up, confidence on demand. Minimum today, 1 minute of dead bug taps, 1 side plank hold each side, 3 bird dogs each way. That's it. I love the minimum. Doable is repeatable, and repeatable is how you bulletproof your life. See every day and watch your back get quiet, your gait look athletic again, and your mindset shift from please don't hurt to I've got this. Seatbelt on, let's freaking go. E is expansion, and oh my gosh, do we need it. Because the modern posture trap is real. Phone forward, laptop slump, driving, scrolling. Your upper back rounds, your chest clamps down, your shoulders roll in, your neck cranks forward, trying to keep your eyes up like a periscope, and then reaching overhead turns into a gamble. That pinchy shoulder feeling, not random. That 3 p.m. neck headache, not random. Your rib cage got small, your shoulder blades lost their glide path, and now your neck and front of shoulder are doing jobs they were never hired to do. So reaching for a suitcase in the overhead bin or pressing in a workout becomes risky, not because you're weak, but because your cage is caved and your blades can't rotate. Exactly. Here's the fix: daily expansion. We're going to restore space in your rib cage, get your shoulder blades sliding and rotating like they're designed to, and remind your neck it can retire from being a barbell. Posture is not vanity. It's mechanics. When your ribs expand, you literally breathe better, more air in, more carbon dioxide out, which changes your energy, calms tension, and sets you up for deeper sleep. This is taking up space in your own body, and you deserve that. Start with wall slides. Stand with your back of head, and tailbone lightly touching the wall. Ribs stacked, no big chest flare. Bring your forearms to the wall, elbows at 90, wrists straight. Now, slow snow angels. Glide your arms up, keep gentle pressure through elbows and wrists, then back down. 10 slow reps. If your ribs try to pop or your low back arches, you're at your end range, own it there. You're teaching your shoulder blades to upwardly rotate while your rib cage stays quiet. Translation to life: this is how you put a box on a shelf without a shoulder pinch. Drop to all fours for thoracic rotation. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Press the floor away so you're not hanging in your shoulders. Put your right hand lightly behind your head. Inhale, back breath. Then exhale as you rotate your elbow toward the ceiling without letting your hips swing. Inhale down, exhale up. 5 to 8 each side, slow. Feel the movement in your mid-back, not your low back. Your upper spine is the swivel that prevents your shoulder from jamming. When you reach and twist, think seatbelt, reach to the back seat, or turning to look over your shoulder before you merge. Stand again for band pull-aparts or towel isometrics if you don't have a band. Arms out at chest height, palms down. Break the band by pulling it apart with straight elbows while sliding your shoulder blades down and a little together, like tucking them into your back pockets. Pause, slow, return, 10 to 15 clean reps. No band, grab a towel, hold it wide, and pull like you're trying to tear it in half for a 10-20 second hold. Then relax. This wakes up the mid-back muscles that counter the rounded shoulder trap and sets the table for stronger push-ups and presses. Finish with the doorway chest opener, but make it active. Forearms on the door frame, elbows at shoulder height. Step 1 foot through just enough to feel a mild stretch across your chest. Now the move. Exhale, draw your shoulder blades down and back without jutting your ribs forward, like you're pulling them into those back pockets. Hold for 3 slow breaths. Step out. Repeat once more. You're not passively hanging on tissue. You're restoring length while you add control. Tie it to breath every step. Inhale wide into the sides and back of your ribs. Balloon out 360, even behind your bra line. Long, quiet exhale to stack ribs over pelvis and set the shoulder blades. Do that during wall slides, during rotations, during pull-aparts. Your neck will unclench because your diaphragm, ribs, and mid-back are doing their jobs. Real life payoff: groceries to top shelf, suitcase to the bin, overhead press that feels smooth instead of sketchy, push-ups that live in your chest and back instead of your neck, and the way you stand in a room, different, bigger. This is about taking up space. Shoulders wide, ribs breathing, chin level, not shrinking to fit inside someone else's idea of you. You own this space. You own this breath. You own this reach. 10 breaths of expansion today. Then tomorrow. Doable, repeatable, protective. Let's freaking go. Okay, now we put the keys in your hand and drive. 10 minutes. A simple timer. No overthinking. No scrolling for the perfect routine. No when I have an hour. We are done with the drama. You set a timer for 10 and you run face. 2 minutes feet, ankles, 3 minutes hips, 3 minutes core, spine, 2 minutes expansion. Doable is repeatable, and repeatable is the whole game. Here's exactly how it goes. Start with F for 2 minutes. Barefoot if you can. 30 seconds of big toe, little toe lifts to wake the switches. 60 seconds of slow calf raises with 3 count lowers, up strong, down slow, heels heavy at the bottom. 30 seconds of ankle rocks at the wall or short foot holds to tell your arches, we're on duty. If standing hurts today, do it seated. Ankles still stiff? Scoot farther from the wall and own the smaller range. Consistency beats intensity every time. A for 3 minutes. Half kneeling hip opener with a real glute squeeze. 45 seconds each side. Long exhale so your back stays quiet. Then 90 over 90 switches for 60 seconds, hands down for support, slow on the corners. Finish with bridges for 30 to 60 seconds. Hold a breath at the top. Lower slow. Knees cranky? Put a pillow under them, or do standing hip extensions holding the counter, gentle pulses with your ribs stacked, hips running late to the party. That's why we're here. C for 3 minutes. Dead bug, heel taps for 60 seconds. Shorten the tap if your ribs try to pop. Side plank from knees, 30 to 45 seconds each side. If that's spicy, elevate your elbow on the couch arm. Bird dogs for 60 seconds. 5 count holds without spilling the imaginary glass on your low back. Hate the floor. Do a standing dead bug, back to the wall, ribs stacked, alternate pressing hand and opposite knee into the wall for 5 counts. The seatbelt stays on no matter the setup. E for 2 minutes. Wall slides for 60 seconds, only as high as you can go without your ribs flaring. Then band pull-aparts or towel isometric. Rip it for 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, twice. Shoulders cranky? Do a supported door frame reach. Forearm on the frame, step through a hair, exhale your shoulder blade down and back, 3 slow breaths each side. 0 ego, all control. Your success metric is not sweat, it's options. When the timer hits 0, you should feel more choices. In your joints, your squat to chair is smoother. Stairs feel less clunky. Getting out of the car is less stiff. Turning to look over your shoulder doesn't pinch. Balance while you brush your teeth is steadier. That is the nervous system saying, I trust this. Now, the rule that saves you on chaotic days, the one thing rule. If life body slams you and you only have 2 minutes, do the single joint that's stealing your day. Ankles, if stairs or curbs feel sketchy. Hips, if your back lights up on walks or your knees cave on squats. Core, if carrying groceries torches your spine. Expansion, if reaching or breathing feels tight and your neck is doing too much. 2 minutes on the bottleneck is better than 0 minutes on perfection. You do not need a perfect workout plan. You need a daily promise to your future self. Set the timer, face for 10, or one thing for 2, tomorrow again. 10 quiet minutes that will change how you move through every loud minute of your life. Let's freaking go. Before it's too late is not a scare tactic, it's a calendar. There are 3 invisible deadlines nobody warns you about, and when you cross them, your world quietly shrinks. I am protective of you, so we're going to say this out loud. If you're feeling a pit in your stomach right now, good, use it. Fear becomes power when you aim it at action. Deadline number 1, the first fall or that scary slip where your foot shoots and your heart jumps into your throat. Even if you don't hit the ground, your confidence does. Suddenly, you grip the rail with a death clutch. You stop taking the stairs at night. You skip the walk if it's drizzling. You shuffle. And here's the brutal part. Nobody tells you activity shrinks, strength fades, balance dulls, and the risk of the next fall skyrockets. It's a spiral. Not because you're clumsy, because your nervous system lost trust in your joints. Face interrupts that spiral. Feet that grip, ankles that roll, hips that catch you, a core that says not today, and a chest that expands so you can breathe through the adrenaline spike. 10 minutes a day is how you buy back trust before gravity sends you a bill you can't ignore. Deadline number 2, the minor injury that won't leave. You twist an ankle on a curb, sprain it, ice it, and then rush back because life, the ankle stays stiff, your foot stops rolling, your knee caves to pick up the slack, your hip loses rotation, your back starts barking. Now you're 6 months in with random hip and back pain. That's not random at all. It's the no options cascade. Orthopedic clinics see this every single day. It looks sudden. It's not. It's accumulated load with no movement options. Face is the option machine. We restore ankle dorsiflexion so stairs don't own you. We turn hips back on so knees stop twisting. We get your core holding so your spine doesn't volunteer for every job. We open your upper back so your shoulders glide. Tiny, daily, boring, on purpose. And it works. Deadline number 3, the big life stressor that nukes your routine. A parent needs care, a divorce, a job shift that eats your mornings. Sleep is trash, you're running on fumes, and the gym hour evaporates. In that season, your baseline decides whether you hold up or break. Exercise is intentionally moving and stressing your body. So in response, your body gets better at handling stress everywhere else. Face is the minimum effective baseline. 10 minutes builds a body that doesn't unravel when life does. No equipment, no commute, no permission needed. You own it in your kitchen between emails, beside a hospital bed, in a hotel room at 10 p.m. The chaos does not get the final say. So let me make sure I'm tracking your head and your heart. You're thinking of the slick step last winter, the ankle that never quite recovered, the storm you're in, or the one you can see on the horizon. If you're scared, excellent. Aim it. Set a timer for 10. Run face. If today is on fire, pick one thing for 2 minutes. This is the cheapest insurance policy you will ever buy against falls, against nagging injuries, against life's left hooks. You're not waiting for motivation. You're protecting your independence. Today, tomorrow, 10 minutes, let's freaking go. Exhale with me. You're not behind. You're becoming the kind of person who protects her future. That's the identity shift. Not, I'll try when life calms down. No. You are the woman who builds independence 10 minutes at a time, right in the chaos, and then shows other people how to do it. Mobility is freedom, and sharing this is a protective act for everyone you love. Let's cement it with habit stacking so this isn't a vibe. It's a ritual. Face happens when you brush your teeth in the morning, heel raises while you spit, short foot holds while the water runs. Face happens before the shower, half kneeling opener on the bath mat, 90 over 90 switches while the steam builds. Face happens while the coffee brews dead, bug taps on the kitchen floor, bird dogs beside the island. Or make it your closing ritual after work, 2 minutes per letter before you open your laptop at night, or hang up the keys. Attach it to a thing you already do and the debate disappears. The routine carries you. And now the part that makes my heart pound, because this is how we change statistics in a single generation. Teach it. 5 minutes with your partner, show them ankle rocks against the wall and bridges so the weekend yard work doesn't toast their back. Get down on the floor with your kids, make 90 over 90s a game, side planks a challenge, wall slides a contest to see who can keep their ribs quiet, daughters and younger women especially. We've been handed nonsense about shrinking ourselves and stretching forever. Screw that. We are training options. We are training strength through range, so life feels bigger, not smaller. This is you taking up space and passing that permission forward. So let me make sure I'm tracking your next step. You set a daily trigger teeth, shower, coffee, or closing ritual. You put face in your calendar with a real alarm. You write face on a sticky note on the coffee maker. You drop a mat in the living room so the floor is an invitation, not an obstacle. And on days that explode, you do one thing for 2 minutes and you call it a win, because doable is repeatable and repeatable is transformation. Exactly. I'm going to ask you to do 3 things right now because we are building a movement. Number 1, subscribe so this stays in your world and we keep you accountable. Number 2, send this to one person, your mom, your sister, your best friend, your daughter, and tell them which joint you're starting with. Number 3, comment the joint you're claiming today. Feet, hips, core, or expansion. Call your shot in public. We rally each other here. Future you is watching. Imagine yourself 10 years from now, getting up off the floor like it's nothing. Long stride, steady stairs, suitcase high shelf, zero drama, dancing at a wedding, hiking the hill, saying yes to the beach, the trip, the play date, on the floor with the grandbaby, because your body has options and your nervous system trusts you. That's what we're doing here. 10 minutes, face every day, teach it, share it, protect your people. I love you. You've got this. Let's freaking go.